Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast.
And coming to you from SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index Wasteland Edition, Part 3. I'm not sure that I introduced the Simpsons Index in the last two times we did this, but whatever. Hi, I'm Elliot Jay O'Neill, joined by the Wasteland band, Jordan Frost.
Howdy!
And BT Calloway. We are deep in the Wasteland
madness.
You would have seen this as part 3 of our exploration of exploring the 20s and the 30s wastelands. And yeah, we are past the halfway point and past the halfway point of our sanity. What is our sponsor this week?
Sanity. Get some.
Sanity.
The CD store.
Yes, buy your tapes and CDs.
And your beans.
Yes, that's right. We're full of insanity and we're full
and
of beans.
So many beans.
And we've still got a few Simpsons episodes to get into, but let's crack into it. So from the 20s, this was season 28, episode 18, A Father's Watch. First released in March of 2017, it was directed by Bob Anderson, written by Simon Rich, and this was a first-time Simpsons writing credit for the young man here.
It shows.
And last, or
No, he's been a staffer since, and he was hired because they Grading was impressed with his pictures, and even did a "you remind me of a young me" sort of thing.
Oh,
and
Jesus. Matt has imposter syndrome, I think.
I think that's fair.
He has a lot of syndromes.
If the last episode I was angry, I was just left aghast by this episode.
This one clunks early and does not recover.
Fuck. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Any hopes that I had was I might have picked good episodes for this. They're being dashed with every episode that passed,
Holy fucking
whatever
shit.
that good one was that we reviewed. Anyway, yeah, A Father's Watch. What happened in this fucking thing? Okay, so Marge is unsure of the right way to sort of discipline Bart, and on the advice of some lecturer was encouraging the participation trophy method of just lots of praise for your kid, and so Homer takes advantage of that and starts a trophy selling business, and Bart starts seeing through that after overhearing Homer say some shit. So he bitches to Grandpa, who Grandpa gives him a watch, which actually makes him feel confidence for some reason.
Appreciated, yeah.
Then he loses the watch, and in amongst it all, another lecturer or two comes to Springfield and changes everyone's mind.
But it's actually Lisa pretending to be a lecturer.
Yeah, that hires someone else.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and there's a lot of nothing. Guys, what'd you think?
This is the big steaming pile of shit we got to walk through in this wasteland.
Yeah, I stepped in a scorpion turd.
Oh, yeah.
And
Notorious
can't get it
scorpion.
off.
Yeah, those scorpion turds. Impossible to get them out of carpet.
Because you think about what a scorpion eats, and then stepping in that.
What a bugs.
Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, tiny, but goddamn, you feel the impact.
Yeah, pellet of stink. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a big old stinky fest.
Fucking suck, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this one, because, like I said, I really thought maybe you had lost your touch, but you brought it back. Those last two have been
Absolute
right off the bat. Yep.
So this one just does have a big air of, kids are getting trophies for anything these days about it.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
which is that joke is at least 10 years old at the time of writing.
Yeah, what year was this released?
2017.
Yeah, this the concept of participation trophies was pretty worn to the bone by this point.
Yeah, we started the Simpsons Index in 2016. That's when we started giving out participation trophies. And, I feel offended, personally.
Those trophies are right next to the lip of a pit of doom.
Yeah. Oh, you want the failure? You want it? You want to go in the pit?
In you go. But man, just it's one of those things that there's such a hubbub about. I've never seen one. Has anyone ever seen a participation trophy?
Look, I mean, they make a point of it, when Marge is throwing away the trophies and Lisa's like, hey, I actually earned those. And it's like, really? Even the soccer one? And it's like...
Yeah, which seems to be having a bit of nuance in terms of, everyone gets something that maybe they didn't deserve. Like even Lisa, who prides herself on earning these trophies, gets some for the sports that she's bad at. But there's nothing solid enough about any of these points. That's what's really kind of annoying. There's the whole... participation trophies, they're just getting something for nothing. And it's like, you just had a presentation about boosting self-esteem. So that's what it's supposed to do. Whether you apply it properly is up to you.
And I thought the presentation was like making the point of it's not about praising everything. It's about positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement and praising everything are two very. And if the idea was the parents were taking the wrong ideas and running with them, that would be fine. But that's not what we've got here. And even Grandpa giving Bart the watch was the thing that makes the difference. He didn't earn.
Yeah.
He's just, this is to show you I believe in you, which is literally a participation trophy.
Well, it's just, it was to boost his self-esteem.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that was
Lisa
the
even
point.
admits that at the start. It's like, well, having self-esteem can, help with all these other factors or whatever. And it's like, well, then fine, but then you've completely sullied the whole message of it in the writing of this episode. It doesn't
For
actually make
real.
sense.
And even then, like Bart's whole thing of, I've disappointed Grandpa, the only person that ever believed in me. Marge.
Yeah.
From the beginning
Of this
Yeah.
episode.
and forever. Even if you don't know the Simpsons history, it's there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but 10 minutes into this episode, I was like, wait, did I pick the right episode? And yep, a Father's Watch, this was it.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh my God, how much longer do we have to watch this episode? I thought you were just checking the timestamp.
To quote Grandpa, a little from column A, a little from column B.
Yeah.
Speaking of column B, column BT.
Oh, damn.
What stood out to you for better or worse?
Man, just the weird relationship this episode has with generational trauma. Because it's terrible, but you should embrace it because that'll make you a better person. Unlike a participation trophy, which is what you get from Grandpa. But he only gave the because he has generational trauma, which is great. But also you should ignore it. And also you shouldn't have trophies, but also you should. It's just like, what do you want, episode? Do you want to say that, having a lifetime of parents being shitty to each other, to their children, because that's the way they were raised, is good or bad? Because you seem to not know. There's almost a subversive joke at the end of I can't even remember what Homer says something to Bart. It's like, yeah, I know you're a screw up, but who screwed you up? And he's like, you did. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, there's almost an anti-heart there, but it just, by this point, I'm too mad.
Yeah, Homer goes to, because Bart loses the watch, accidentally drops it off a cliff, and then Homer manages to find it at a pawn shop. Does he have any clue that it's there, or
No, he's going in to sell all his old junk
the
trophies.
and then he spots it.
To Dumbly, just the best parody of Chumley I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Wait, wasn't it Frank?
Huh?
Oh, no.
Because it said Frank Needy and Sons. Oh, and he must be the one of the sons.
Sons,
right.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
Because Homer's like, I'm going to give these to the needy. And then, Needy was the name of the store. So playing Dumbly was Brian Posehn, who you might remember from the Sarah Silverman show.
I do not. Wait, yes, I do.
Yeah.
He's that guy who looks real big.
Yeah, he's a big metal guy, stand-up comedian. He's also an actor. He had a brief cameo in Seinfeld where Kramer was acting out medical conditions. He was the guy that had a sponge left in him. Anyway, yeah, Brian Posehn. I quite like his stand-up. Yeah.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he works with Bob Odenkirk and David Cross a lot, I think.
He was one of the players in Mr. Show, yeah, for sure. Actually, may as well do the rest of the guest stars here. Vanessa Bayer was playing Dr. Clarity Hoffman Roth, the first thing.
Expert, yeah.
Yep. And then Rob, actually, I forgot to look up who Vanessa Bayer was. But
that
Rob
name sounds
Riggle-
familiar, yeah.
Rob Riggle was playing the other one, and he's in Modern Family, Gil, the rival real estate guy.
In 21 Jump Street as well as as the coach that's selling the drugs, I think.
Oh, is he? I haven't seen that movie for a hot minute. I liked it though.
Because I went in with such low expectations, I'm like, fuck, this was actually pretty funny. Oh, it's Vanessa Bayer. Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
From just Debbie and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, who took all the cocaine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rob Riggle, fuck. Why am I only remembering him from Modern fucking Family of all things? He's been in a bunch of stuff. Oh, he was also in 30 Rock as the guy, the Teamster that was giving Pete Hornberger a hard time and challenged him to an arm wrestle. And then Hornberger, and I want to get this tattoo, said, oh my God, I never thought I'd felt bad for a guy who's got a tattoo of a leprechaun vomiting on a book.
But it's an extended dream sequence.
Yep. Anyway, what stands out to you, Jordan?
And the fourth.
Oh, yeah, and in the fourth act, because we all need a fourth act, was NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Fucking hell, I cannot believe he did that. Like, he's a pretty decent guy, and like, what he earns a lot of money. Why would he do this? Why would he go in The Simpsons and be the
Guess he's
stupidest
probably a
fucking
fan or
asshole
something,
ever?
But like, anyone who wants to add us about this and be like, no, this episode has some nuance, you guys just glossed over it. This whole bit ends with them being like, well, we're going to put Ralph Wiggum into the NBA. He has so many trophies, and we put value in trophies, and obviously, how could he get all those trophies unless he earned them? It's just like, for fuck's sake.
He's 8 years old. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
He's not even eligible to enroll in the draft.
But he has so many trophies.
And all for the Ralph line, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
Jordan, what stands out to you from this one?
I would say it would have to be the 5.5 times that dear old Danny C, sings one of the lines from You're the Best.
Yeah.
Who was that by again?
Joe quotes Bean Esposito, which I don't know if that is, again, a racist thing.
Beans are valuable out here.
When I looked it up, it was like from when I was like, what's that song from the Karate Kid? This was like 15 years ago. And it was like, it's by Joe Bean Esposito. I'm like, okay. But yeah, when he sings that, the first line of the chorus, because he doesn't actually sing the chorus, he sings the first line from the chorus 5.5 times.
Yeah, it's just
with no backing track. No backing music.
Over
like no
and over and over.
Yeah, and it's like, holy shit. We went, okay, the third time, okay, it's probably gonna stop. Oh, he's going in for the fourth. He's going in for a fifth. What
Still
the
going.
fuck? How is this still happening? I think we were all just like trying to commit Sudoku. Like, it was so bad. It made me physically hurt.
Yeah, especially the whole unaccompanied by music thing, because it was just weirdly silent. It was over this montage of like, yeah, silly ways kids are getting trophies, and haha, isn't this funny? But like, yeah, you're too distracted by the whole Homer singing this unaccompanied, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess they were cheaping out and like not wanting to pay the full music rights. But then when it's a montage of Bart doing well because he's got this watch that is giving him confidence, yeah, it's the full
they
fucking
play
track.
the song. I'm like, why didn't you do that? And
Yeah.
then he sings again at the end as well, unaccompanied. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Who makes this decision?
But then he's like going to sing to Bart, "You're the worst around." Ha ha ha. And then, yeah, over the closing credits after the stupid NBA draft bit, yeah, then they play the song with Homer singing over it. Fucking hell.
Yeah, like, no matter how you cut this, repeating the same line 5 times is
5.5.
bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's so just bland and laborious, and there's no music, and it's awful.
It's like, it's not even the sort of, you know, like the Kristen Charles a horse, where you like just keep doing it
where
over and over until
but
it's funny.
I think it's getting more manic each time he does it, until he's basically kind of like us yelling Jordan's anal corner.
Yeah.
It's just a blur of words.
And yeah, this
Whilst
is
he's
just
dancing
not-
around excited.
Yeah.
At least that, kind of gets to an anti-comedy moment, but this is just the same thing, and it's like barely changes pitch or tempo or anything.
He's not even singing the right notes, is
No.
what really pissed me off as well.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And what stands out to me, so, I mean, I guess there is, again, a nugget of a good idea where it's like, Marge trying to do the right thing, and Homer's found an opportunity to exploit and get a Homer job going.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that he gets Bart in on it, and that his shoddy workmanship is like letting the team down, but that's not a real point other than to have Homer and Marge argue about Bart like within earshot of him. And yeah, it's not like Homer's business is ever suffering because of Bart's shoddy workmanship.
No, 'cause
like,
that's not the point. And like, okay, the core of all this, like, there's an idea of parenting is hard, and someone that's selling you solutions is going to be appealing. And
Yes.
the real nuance is finding balance between praise and just, telling your kid you have to do better, being that little bit of tough love and a little bit of support. And the idea that it's very easy to just go, oh, here's the newest trend, let's follow that. There is a wisp of that idea through this episode, but it is drowned in everything else.
yeah.
I think the problem this episode had is the fucking opening, which we haven't talked about yet, but
True.
holy shit.
We started-
it set the bar
You know-
low immediately.
Let's run to a quick up note of the couch gag. It is all the animals from The Simpsons,
Yeah,
like Laddie
that's
and
fine.
Stampy, all
Yeah.
sitting down to watch TV,
Totally
the classic
fine.
Simpsons. And we all went, oh, that's nice.
Highlight of the episode.
Anyway, then we go to Frog Heaven.
Yeah.
So tell me about the wackiness.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. So we see like two frogs conversing, and it's like, oh, it's okay. We're going, like, it's been donated to Silence. Let's have a look and spy on this young
scientist.
Bart doing the sort of, I guess, the most racist The Simpsons has been in my
But
personal
it's okay,
memory.
because we're like, oh, I'm sure, the frogs even say, I'm sure his portrayal of Rastafarians is going to be nuanced. It's like, that doesn't let you off the hook.
Yeah, so
Threads?
that's the thing we haven't explained yet, is that, Bart pulls the guts out, the intestines, and puts it on the frog's head and say, hey, I'm a Rastafrogian or
Yeah.
Ribbit-Farian or some lazy bullshit like that.
And then it cuts back up to Frog Heaven. They're like, oh, I'm sure his portrayal of the Rastafarians would be sympathetic. And it just cuts back down, and it's like, oh, God, you just steered right into the racism, haven't you? It's all, pass the duchy to the left, whatever. And it's far.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's okay. Like the older frog is trying to put a positive spin on. I'm sure that Scotsman will do nice with your body. I'm going to flush you in the toilet.
Yeah, which, quick Jordan's anal corner. Nice, that was quick. No, he wouldn't. Groundskeeper Willie, is not going to flush a frog down the drains, which is going to clog the drains.
Yeah.
He's got so many
He's going to
frogs
throw
to
him in
deal
a
with.
furnace or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I get the bit, and it's fine. But that was just no, he wouldn't.
Yeah. Any other wacky moments from this one stand out to y'all?
Oh my God.
Every time Homer fans the money he's making, it blows someone's hair, which I didn't mind too much.
Yeah. I think it was lacking the payoff joke because,
Yeah.
it was almost there.
There is one that Marge imagines a future for Bart as a cold taster,
Yeah.
which she knows isn't a real job,
Yeah.
but still imagines it regardless.
Well, because, it started out her fantasy, what's going to become of Bart? And it's down in the coal mines, and it's like,
Yeah, and so it's got a buff coal miner who then wheels past and goes past Bart, who's just licking the coal.
coal
It's like-
taster.
I was like, okay, that's reasonable enough, I guess. No, my other note of whack was, let's see. Oh, yeah, there's this part was bad. Where Bart's all like, oh, look, I've got Grandpa's pocket watch. And Homer's like, oh, yeah, big deal. He's like, well, didn't you always want it? And it cuts to this, obviously this display case that Homer just has next to him that says, reserved for Dad's pocket watch one day. And then it's like, fuck, that was terrible.
And then didn't you write a novel about it?
Yeah, Father's pocket watch. Oh, it's like... And Bart just happens to have a copy of that, just ready to go.
So, you guys like books. Is this a reference to something I'm not getting?
Fucking maybe, I don't know.
Because, then at the end it shows that book, Homer's A Father's Watch book, and then the Barney Protocol or something?
Yeah, and a John Homer mystery
Right.
written by, why?
I
Who
don't know.
knows? Who cares? Who gives a
It's
fuck?
just one of those vague airport spy novel.
That's the
Born
vibe I
Identity
got.
kind
Real,
of things.
James
There's
Patterson.
another strange one at the end. They sort of show the sort of 3 prior generations Force ghosts
Yes.
choking, but Abe is still alive. And that's
Yeah.
Abe as a child.
Yeah.
So why is he a child ghost?
Why did they even have them? You've already, because, this is the moment where Homer goes, oh, yeah, and who messed you up? And it's like, yeah, haha, intergenerational trauma. You've already laid that out in the episode. You don't need to have fucking ghost grandpas choking each other. And, for it to not make sense, because grandpa's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, that's the plot twist. He's been dead all along.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, it's that that Robot Chicken episode where the Darth Vader transforms back into young Anakin or whatever, and it's like, haha, I'm pretty again.
But how about the heart of this episode?
Move along. There's a little bit right at the end
We
where
don't take to your kind nicely around these parts.
these parts leaves here
Move
wastelands.
Drop your beans and get out of here.
Beans means Hans. There's a little bit with Bart and Abe right at the end taking their photo for Remember That magazine. But again, by this point, I don't care.
Yeah, and also, I'm glad you brought it up before because I felt like I missed, a leap in dialogue of, why is Grandpa giving him this watch? And, okay, whatever. But, I liked it in the terms of we've seen hints at, Bart and Abe having a deeper relationship and...
Flying hellfish.
Yeah, and, them getting along on a level that, Abe doesn't treat Homer to. And as an opportunity to explore some of that complexity, it's just such a shame that they back away from it here. Like, and especially to the point that they don't have Grandpa and Homer interact at all in this fucking episode.
Yeah, there could even be the thing about, I don't have to care about my own son, but I like my grandson or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
But
I
why
don't
does
know.
Jasper recognize Bart and not Abe?
Yeah, I thought he was blind.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, and then they're playing chess with checkers and chess and pill bottles.
I kind of like that.
The only thing I didn't like was the joke about looks like I'm having a panic attack on the toilet tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Jesus.
Okay, fair enough. I do have two quick little John Cena corners as well. Someone yells out at the first parent-teacher thing,
Mhm.
and then Mo stands up and says, and Mo yells out a third thing, but there wasn't a second thing.
Oh, yeah.
There was only...
wasn't the
I'm pretty sure it was just one of them.
no, wasn't the Van Outens, then Wiggum, then Mo?
It doesn't make sense anyway, because Mo doesn't have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is he there?
And
The
that's
creep.
not pointed out as a point in that anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, Ralph is selected number one pick for the Philadelphia 76ers, but he comes out wearing what I can only assume is maybe a New York Pelicans hat,
All right.
which is
Pelicans.
Yeah,
Hey, they
that was a different year. I'm like, is that a joke? Because it was Ben Simmons one year, and then it was Zion Williamson the next year, and he did go to the 76ers and he went to the Pelicans.
I'm
But
sorry, is there an NBA team called the Pelicans?
yeah, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Huh.
You think it'd be the New Orleans Jazz, but no, they're in Utah.
Yep.
Why are you so up on American baseball?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Whatever.
I have approximate knowledge of many things, Speech.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. It's surprisingly deep approximate
Yeah.
knowledge.
He's our sports correspondent.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
I get him and Phil on the sports episodes.
But not the musical episodes.
Yeah.
Phil hates those.
Ugh.
Oh, Jordan will do a musical.
Yeah, I'll do a musical episode.
You'll
I've
do
been in
any
musicals.
episode I make you do.
Yeah.
For you are the mayor of
I'm a
AlmightyK.
slut for the Simpsons index. Anyway.
Did it feel like an episode of The
No.
Simpsons?
No beans.
No.
You have earned the lowest score, 0 beans.
Like, you've got a shred of Simpsons characters in that, yeah, Homer's seen an opportunity, Marge is concerned about her
Yeah.
kids, but, like, getting, not having the right mode
Yeah,
of disciplining him
Lisa's
applied.
even subverting like the town's like panic reaction to things by
Yeah.
trying to steer it in the right direction. There's even something kind of funny about she pitches this grit idea, which says, get rid of participation trophies, and then cuts to Marge throwing out her actual trophies
Yeah.
and being like, oh, yeah, your thing is backfired because everyone's taking it to... Again, if the point had been everyone was looking for the easy answer rather than... advice and then creating a sort of balanced, nuanced take for their own kids. But it's only hinted at vaguely. It's not the point of the episode and it sucks for it.
True.
Nah.
But yes or no, would you watch this
No.
one again?
God, no.
Well, we learned
Not
to
even
change.
in a wasteland-induced delirium.
Sometimes I do wonder if I've accidentally made a repeat episode here because sometimes I just wouldn't know. Like,
Yeah. Have I done this one before?
yeah. Oh, have I watched it again? Yes or no? Maybe I have. BT, what would you like to change?
A lot. Look, just make it a nuanced take on things, on there not being any easy answers and parenting being hard, and you're probably going to fuck it up a little. But ultimately, if you care, then that's going to come across more than anything else. So, yeah. Be balanced, don't strangle your kids, and they don't need a participation trophy, but encouragement is good.
Yeah.
I just, I'm sure this has been said on this podcast tens of times by this point.
Dozens.
But Bart can excel
Yep.
in the right environment.
We know this, yes.
We know that that's true. As you said, he is very capable. He is very smart. He doesn't thrive in the sort of the weird classroom environment that he has, but he can do well. And I just wish that was used more often rather than, what are we going to do with him? And just well, let's use the fat of the month and just make it about Bart because he's doing terrible at school. I'm just sick of that, and I wish they would do something different and sort of do it of okay, well, he thrives because he does this thing this way now or whatever, or he tries this new technique, just something different, and maybe it backfires in other ways, and that's where the comedy comes from. But it just making it seem like Bart is stupid is not the character. It doesn't feel right, and it doesn't make the story good. So I just wish they would stop doing that.
Yeah, to me, I think you're so close to so many things here. Like, yeah, Homer's get-rich-quick scheme, Marge's, like, wanting to find the right method to get to Bart, and the fact that, like, she was just, like, it wasn't a thing that Homer was hiding from her, this trophy thing. I feel like that was, like, a plot and point for, like, Marge is like, no, I believe in this thing, and I'm trying to encourage our child. Like, why are you exploiting this, and why are you
that was also
diluting the
weird.
waters, like, with flooding the market with all these
The
fake
thing,
trophies?
They don't really start peddling fake trophies until Homer starts selling them.
Yeah.
But then for that to not be a point that Marge gets annoyed about.
Yeah, that if she's taken the lesson as, no, it's about positive reinforcement and rewarding the good times. And yeah, whereas Homer's preying on the latest fad. Like, again, you're circling good ideas here. Lisa feeling like her trophies are being devalued, and Bart realizing that this is just a ploy to try and make him act a certain way. And yeah, having Grandpa reach him, which is, again, you're so close to so many fucking ideas. It is wild that it got whiffed this badly. All right, I think we are here. It's time for final notes.
Oh, what are we up to?
It's like words in your notebook about the notes that you just took. They're the good lines that you just couldn't shake. Might have fucked that up. But who would have thought it figures?
They're final.
No, that was better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed some of the original
That's all
one.
right. That's all right.
It's late and I'm tired. This
Yeah.
was premise running thin.
Yeah.
I'll kick it off this time. The cookie dough joke.
I hated
Fuck
that so much.
off twice as well.
Yeah. Oh, my dad choked me, and I turned out just inhales an entire sleeve of cookie dough.
Yeah,
He
and then
just
just
has
goes,
in his jacket
and I
pocket.
turned out fine, and it
I
goes.
thought he was going to say fuck then.
Yeah, that'd
and
be
it's
great.
just it's just so long and so boring.
Who wants to pick up the
Look, just before
can?
that, there was a line of Homer's I did like where Marge is like, "Oh, there's nothing we can do," and Homer's like, "Well, nothing we can do is better than it's going to take everything we've got."
Yeah. I actually liked the recurring like animation joke of the best idea trophy coming to Lisa and Homer when they get the idea. But again, this is like, I would have liked it more in a better episode.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I was reminded when Bart mispronounces society as
Society.
society, and it's like, what an idiot, right? But then I was reminded of a post I saw once that was about like, don't ever make fun of someone for mispronouncing a word.
It means they read it in the
They
book.
read it in a book somewhere and they just haven't, heard how to pronounce it. And I'm like, well, that's good. You should encourage reading and that kind of thing. So Marge is a bad mother there for like being like, you mean society? Like, yeah.
He got that from a book.
Yeah.
Grandpa has a photo of a tank in a bottle on his wall.
Yeah, I did.
And I
like
do
that.
like that. It's not like a photo of a tank, and it's not like a tank in a bottle. It's a photo of a tank in a bottle.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, Bart, you're just like my prostate, a spiky little rapscallion or something like
Yeah.
that. Jesus Christ.
I didn't like the Dr. Freud joke.
Oh,
'Cause
that
it just kept
dragged
going
so
on.
long.
I don't even
3
remember
bites of
that.
the apple.
What?
It's Homer sarcastically like diagnosing himself, like, and I suppose because my father was mean to me. and
Dr.
because-"
Freud.
Yeah.
This is a PSA. Like, it's not, I'm telling on myself very hard here, but I'm just letting you, the second guy that Elisa gets to come in is like called Dr. Fenton Pool Toy.
Yeah.
And I just want everyone to know, because you're here and it's the wasteland and we're in the middle of the desert and
Yep.
it's just us here and there's no judgment.
Us and our beans.
Us in the recording.
If you want to search for like pool toys, make sure there's a space in between pool and toys. If you write pool toy into Google one word, you will get some results that may surprise and offend
girls
you.
having fun.
No, well, yeah, it is a sexual thing. So I'm just letting you know, this Simpsons episode writer probably don't do it, Elliot.
You know I had to.
Yeah, look,
Say search off.
my search results are already fucked.
So I just like whoever wrote this, I didn't know whether they were like, oh, I don't understand, or like, oh, I'm getting it and I'm putting a thing in here.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious.
Not what I was expecting to see, but sure.
I didn't think you would actually. Okay, finish.
Going to images or shopping?
No, shopping. I mean, images. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I wasn't expecting furry stuff either.
Well, it's
I'm just letting you know. Don't
more-
search this Dr. Fenton pool toy in Google unless you're prepared.
half the results are from DeviantArt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that at all.
E621 represent. All right.
Yeah, weird.
Like again with the episode, like I said, circling good ideas, but crying with Santa's little helper
Yeah.
is such
Yeah.
potential, and especially with Homer like going to confidently kick down the door and then his foot won't let him do it. It's just, but then you're like, okay, good scene in isolation, but the justification for it doesn't work.
Yeah, at the moment where he's so alone and despondent that the only person
Yeah.
he can fight in is his own dog. Yeah, that's close.
Also, I'm sorry, but they didn't earn it.
I know,
Like, he
yeah,
didn't earn it
100%
at all.
no.
This is one of those things that almost makes me hesitate on the upcoming ranking, but then it's like, nah, I saw what else you did.
And that's it.
That first few minutes alone.
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
fucking
Way
hell.
to just start off on the wrong
That's
foot.
Homer strangling his father to death bad. Like, it was shocking.
Wasteland classic.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing where, I can't remember what, Lisa's in class and everyone's getting a trophy and she gets first, but her trophy's the smallest and she's complaining about it. It's like, why is mine the smallest? Like, aren't you the one who, like, at least you feel like you earned? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Like, would you be happy if everyone got participation trophies but they were smaller than yours? It just came off weird. I don't know what.
Yeah, Lisa's story gets screwed up in this episode.
Yeah.
There is, like, not a clear arc that she has either. And, yeah, the whole thing of, her organizing the Dr. Pool toy to come lecture and then it biting her on the ass. Like, she doesn't have a moment of reversing that. It's just, that's the end of her story.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like, surely the merit of winning is the point, regardless of whether you get
Yeah.
a trophy for it or not. Whatever.
Also, like, I get it. Like, Ralph is dumb. He's stupid. Ha ha ha. But, like,
He also comes 9th in that class. That's not bad.
well,
For
well,
Ralph, that's pretty
But
good.
the thing is, like, it's like the maths Olympiad or something or whatever, and he goes up and writes on the board, like, 1 + 3 = Ralph. And you're like, okay, like, he's dumb, but he's, like, no one's that stupid. Like, you're being way over the top with this. Like, it doesn't make sense even that this would happen.
I mean, it's the same as the draft joke at the end of the episode. They're banking on, like, people liking Ralph as a character so much to ignore the fact that these are all terrible jokes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Again, it feels like it's made for YouTube. Watch Ralph get in the NBA.
yeah.
I will leave it on a positive, which is there's a bit where when Homer gets the watch, he's like, gleefully like, haha, some said I'd never had it. Most were unaware of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Again, for an episode that just introduces this MacGuffin, like, it's just out of nowhere. Is that a MacGuffin? Sorry, it's late.
It drives the plot maybe a little too much to be a
Yeah.
MacGuffin.
Pretty ugly as well.
It's a watch. It's fine.
All right, well, it's time to rank this thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using a 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. Maybe if the episode was just, you give it a participant. But for the positive rankings, and I hope we get to use one today, you got, okay, bronze, good silver, excellent gold, but for the best, cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. Oh, man, I almost want a participant because this episode just does kind of wash over you, but it's like, it's one of these things where the potential is so disappointing that, like, even, like, just watching it, I was like, I guess that's a participant. But, like, breaking it down is where it's like, yeah, there's kernels of good ideas. So that makes me want to kick it into the pit. PT.
Yeah, I'm at the odds. That was my feeling on the last one. Was more washes over me than really drives hate. This one has such stank of old man yells at cloud. That I'm just going to do a classic, slash across the belly before I steal the beans and kick it in the pit.
Jordan.
Yeah, this one has to go. I couldn't it felt like that first few minutes, it would like a sledgehammer caving my rib cage in. It was like, oh fuck, I cannot believe.
Stab, kill.
I cannot believe this is happening. I cannot believe this is on a Simpsons episode in the 2010s. Like,
Yeah.
how is this allowed to go to air? Like, in the state that it is. So it absolutely has to fail right into hell.
Unanimous failure. We are giving this episode
The index finger!
It did like Disney should have checked the health of the horse before it bought the horse, because
That's not
have
what
they
Disney
watched?
does.
Have they watched an episode
No.
of The Simpsons? Because they could have just seen it and been like, "Oh, this thing dead.
Yeah.
Like, why are we buying this? This is worth $2."
'Cause
Yeah,
it keeps
well-
making money, I guess.
How?
I don't know.
Well, like, because for the purposes of the podcast, we call, like, season 30 onwards the Disney era, because, like, even though season 30 was still produced under Fox, it's like
It would have been in the works. The
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. And it's just more convenient to
Yeah.
say the 30/Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, a deal like that takes time. They would have had some idea about it.
But yeah, as it stands right now, our bottom 3 ranked from worst to least worst best, 28, 30, and 29. So yeah, around the point that, you were wetting the ink, getting ready to,
The sign on the dotted line.
yeah, the 3 worst seasons of the
They're
show.
putting out the wettest turds imaginable. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Good
The
work.
driest husks, not the wettest husks. Full of juicy corn.
No, don't call back to a better joke. It's not worthy.
Hey, this was a whole week ago for the audience.
all right, BT. So for one last time tonight, we'll bring out the dice. Obviously, we've got another 3 episodes left to do, but the others are decided by default.
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 All right, I'm a roll. You figure out what it
No
means.
kernels. No kernels. No
Good
kernels.
popcorn. 5.
5.
I got a 5. So
So either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6.
I'll go odds and evens.
Okay. So odds is number 1 then.
Yeah. We'll do. It's called Right Off This Episode. Great
cool.
start.
Cool.
I plan to.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll be like,
let's
well, this isn't going to be funny.
Let's go in with an
approach with
open
a clean
mind.
slate.
Open mind, open
Can of beans.
butthole. Okay.
Open coffin. All right.
Open pool toy. And we are back, and we just watched an episode from the 30s. This was season 34, episode 19, Right Off This Episode.
Sure.
First released
Done.
in April. And we're done. Let's move
Good
on to the
night,
next one.
everybody.
I wrote it right off. It's done.
First released in April of 2023, it was directed by Matthew Nastuck, written by J. Stewart Burns. In this episode, Homer gets sprayed by a skunk, and Marge reveals her secret for doing your washing in a pillowcase with a few mystery ingredients that'll bring any stink stain reversible.
Like salt, baking powder, and bay leaves, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Cool.
Sure.
Lisa
Clean your
sees...
clothes using this one weird old tip from this
Laundrettes hate her.
Middle America's mom knows secret tip.
The third ingredient will shock you. But Lisa sees an opportunity to... are they giving them away for free, or are they
Yes.
selling them? Yeah, they're giving them away for free. All right, it's for a charitable opportunity to give them to unhoused people, and which kicks off Marge starting the Lisa M. Simpson Foundation, and Bernice Hibbert then gets in Marge's ear about turning this into like a business, I guess, and it's one of these, the thing goes, blows all out of proportion, and Marge loses sight of the original
Yeah.
thing that they were creating.
Hasn't
And guys, what'd you think?
Look, it's nice to see a Lisa Marge. Those are very
Yeah.
rare. It's also hard to tell if it's because we've been doing this for multiple hours and drinking the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this was just the most participant-y participant that ever participated.
Yeah.
It blew past me.
I get it, Blue.
I was
Double D.
going to say, look, I believe in the beauty and sanctity of
Marge.
human life in general.
Yep.
And, I'm anti-capital punishment, et cetera, but I do think I believe after watching this episode that someone does need to take Julie Kavner round back behind the shed and put her out of her misery.
Look, there's a difference between capital punishment and mercy killing.
Because she sounds so tired and
We
sick.
have discussed this multiple times. All I want is one of these episodes to start with Julie Kavner to step out in front of a red curtain and said, "Hi, America, / the world. My name is Julie Kavner. I voice Marge. I'm fine. My voice doesn't hurt as much as it sounds like it does." because it sounds like it really does. And
I would, if that happened, I would be like deep fake for sure. Like that doesn't.
Look,
They've
entirely
just done
because,
that.
you know,
to
from having
placate the
done
masses.
Starring Springfield on our Patreon exclusive podcast, which you can find through patreon.com/SideQuestStudios, we know that that's kind of what Julie Kavanaugh just sounds like, at least in the early days. She doesn't do much to put on Marge. So the idea that maybe this is just her voice a little put on.
Yeah, but okay, but
Just
she's
please tell me she's okay is all I
she's
want.
refused to do.
Interviews for like 20 years.
Oh no! I
Well-
mean, I don't even mean that. I mean, she refuses to do Marge's mum's voice anymore, right?
Yeah, if given the opportunity, I'm going to write an episode where Marge's mum dies so she can stop doing it, like, canonically.
Because she just sounded, especially towards the end of this episode, she sounded so just tired and sick, and I felt so bad for her. And I was just like, oh man,
Yeah.
this is the only way The Simpsons will end, is if one of the main six dies.
And even then, there's
A bank of stuff they could feed into an AI.
yeah, that. But I mean, there's also the thing that, like, yeah, it's gotten to the point where both Julie Kavanaugh and Harry Shearer aren't sounding how they used to, and people are like, fuck, I wouldn't be that bummed if they replaced them. But, like, yeah, it's going to get into
Never
a, like,
stop the
ship of
Theseus.
thank you. Ship of thank you sort of thing. And, like, this episode, just on that, went viral because of Harry Shearer's performance of Burns in this episode.
Yeah, I was like, holy
Really?
fuck. Was that an AI at the end? Because it sounded nothing like Mr. Burns to me. It sounded so bizarre.
It was so bad. It was such a flat reading. And there's even a bit where they animate Mr. Burns laughing and Harry Shearer doesn't. Like, it is the weirdest fucking disconnect thing. And I remember there's even this popular voice actor on Twitter and a few other places, Jaden Libran, who, like, just took a crack at, like, doing a different line read of that. And, yeah, people were like, that enthusiasm, you know, because this is really what it was missing. Both Marge and Harry Shearer, like, even if this is just the best that Julie Kavanaugh could do, like, it was just lacking any enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Just emotion. Yeah.
BT, what stands out to you?
I forgot to mark a thing.
I have the least notes by far of any episode we've covered so
there's-
far tonight.
Oof. Where do we start? Oh, yeah. No, it is going to be mostly my down arrow for this episode. Boy, we get a whole lot of what it's like to hear Homer get his ass cleaned by a hose.
Oh, it's a classic. Hey, Dan, go crazy in the booth for like 1 minute and we'll just use
we'll
that.
have it in the episode and it'll be over the credits as well.
Yeah.
He's going, ooh. And again, I'm not adding words here. There's a bit where you can hear Marge goes, all right, Homer, spread him.
Yeah.
And then she's spraying his...
I did have a thing like,
It's his butt.
okay, but like the skunks did not spray his asshole.
Yeah, well,
So-
while you're there, you just clean everything, I guess.
But yeah, because that's just why. Yeah.
So you can have Dan Cass do that because, yeah, I had the same thought. You know, did the skunks really get into fucking every nook and cranny here? Like, we don't have skunks in Australia, I don't think. Like, no. So I don't know. I've never been sprayed. Right in.
We got cute little other marsupials.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
have quokkas, which are the
Well-
cutest things in the fucking world.
You know, I was thinking about like how fucking cute wombats are.
Wombats
Wombats are super
and they
cute.
also kill things with their butt.
Well, yeah,
Really?
and they poop cubes
They
and
poop
shit.
cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you
There's
know,
a great
you
T-shirt
look
that
at them,
says
they're cute.
never buy dice from a wombat because they poop cubes.
Good shit. Yeah,
Good
this
shit.
isn't a drop bears thing, by the way, international listeners. We are legit. Wombats poop cubes.
Yeah, and their butt's like partially armored, and apparently they'll like go headfirst in the burrow, and if a predator comes right behind, they'll just crush their head with their butt.
Yeah, and they like
Wombats fucking rule.
And they like cannonball into shit. They can like break your leg if they hit you hard enough because they go quite fast. Anyway, I love them. That's
Yeah.
why, and I love Fatso the Fat-Assed Wombat from
Yeah.
2000
Oh,
Olympics.
Fatso.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Anyway.
good. Let's bring that back for Paris. Are Roy and HG really that big? They're probably very tired.
Yeah.
What was it? Sid Million Dickhead was the other one. Yeah.
That's right. I just remember they're commentating on gymnastics.
Yeah.
Spitting date. Hello, boys. Battered Sav.
Yeah.
Oh, is that on YouTube? We should watch that.
We should watch that. And the bombing as well when they had to do the off the 10-meter diving board. They were just pushing the mascots off. And they'd obviously loaded up Fatso with like rocks or something because he just went and sank to the bottom.
Fatso the big ass wombat.
Yeah, we're in this part of the wasteland where we're nostalgic for fucking 2000.
Yeah. Everyone was so happy then.
Such optimism.
Pre 9/11 world.
Yeah.
You go to I once took ninja stars through an airport and it was fine because I was 9.
Yeah. I could wear my shoes through a security check.
They're like, it's good. Bring on that shampoo onto this. A full bottle, that's fine.
Nail
Bring that
clippers. Oh, you're so vain.
Jordan, what stands out to you for better or worse?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, Marge's voice was definitely very bad, but I guess it's a question that doesn't really make sense. Okay, so Rich Texan comes in and like stamps their like
Brands.
501c application form or whatever. He's notarized like in Texas. So does that make the Simpsons in Texas and doesn't make it legal to operate outside of Texas if they're not in Texas?
They were thrilled at their character of like Rich Texan's notary.
Yeah.
They love the shit out of that.
The thing is, I did like the little thing of him wearing a cowboy hat with a little green visor on top, like an old-timey accountant.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say I did not like when he has a like 30-second riff on Texas sounding a bit like the word taxes.
Yeah, that sucked.
But yeah, like, again, I don't know if this was just like Wasteland syndrome or the fact that it was dragged out and so boring was like part of the joke, or if there's something greater I'm missing here, but all this just felt so flat to me. Like
it was like, okay, well, look, this is 30 seconds worth, so that's like 1/40th of the episode done with, and we didn't even need to think, so that's okay.
Yeah. No, it's a blessing, if anything. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mind when after they'd signed all the papers and Rich Texan is doing his, gun shooting thing, and then the accountant's just firing off his stapler and his little like calculator thingy.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It was fine.
It was fine.
But yeah, the taxes thing can go straight to hell. Because Texans don't like taxes, but taxes like Texans.
Shut up, little girl.
So what stands out to me? They're using Hand and Armor brand baking soda, which is a play on the American brand Arm and Hammer.
Isn't that cannibal guy?
That's Army Hammer. This is okay. So this is nothing to do with the episode, but this is a fun story I found out the other day about this real world brand. Is that Army Hammer's dad was an investor called Armand Hammer.
Okay.
He had
like Armand Van Helden.
Yeah,
right.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. I just meant like I'm just trying to.
I'd only seen it written
spell
down.
it in my head.
No.
Don't make fun of him reading a book.
I'm like putting it in my head. All right. Okay. I know how to spell it now. Okay. Great.
Yeah. So he actually has nothing to do with the Arm & Hammer brand of baking soda and whatever else they make. But he got so sick of people like asking him, "Oh, Arm & Hammer, you must be part of the Arm & Hammer brand of baking soda." And he's like, no. He got so sick of it that he decided to buy into the company.
Okay.
And then became a majority stakeholder to it.
Interesting.
Just so that he could say yes.
It's named after me.
Yeah.
I'm
It is
big
now.
all in it. That's where the name comes from.
Yeah,
this boy.
if you actually look at the boxes now, there is no space between Arm and
Yeah.
and it's
Arm and
very
Hammer.
subtle, but it is Arm and Hammer now. Yeah.
So yeah, I learned that from Jason Pargin's TikTok. It's a great TikTok account. Go follow it.
Cool.
Formerly known as David Wong from Cracked.
Oh, right. Cool.
Yeah.
Jason Pringle.
Yeah, he does these fun little like 2 to 5 minute little like did you knows, and he's very good at it.
Nice.
How was the wackiness in this episode?
I got a couple.
There's a blue hot chili peppers and blue mirror.
I only saw the blue Kentucky Fried Chicken, which was Krusty's Fried Chicken, and
It was very wacky that Gil was like, "Oh, now I can go back to my job of like man in stock images photo," and he had the like
Getty Images transparency to put up.
like what the fuck?
The only thing I liked about that was, I would kind of like a Getty's Images transparent sign to hold in front of myself for all things that I'm taking photos of.
Yeah. Or like, if you were like hide the pain Harold or whatever, you could like, that guy that looks like he's smiling, but his eyes are crying.
Hide the pain, Harold.
I think internet historian uses him as his like image. Yeah.
But as I learned, fuck internet historian apparently.
Yeah. Look, we have covered that on the Patreon exclusive.
Okay.
So do you like stuff? Where we did both internet historian and then like the next week did H-Bomber Guy.
Like, damn.
I have bad timing on recommendations.
Yeah.
I'd once plugged like.
Have you guys heard of Tommy Tallarico? Anyway.
Yeah. I didn't know which crook person to go say that I like, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway.
Army Hammer.
Yeah, there we go. The actor?
Yes. Yeah, the he wants to eat you. It's not wacky, but it's put through as sort of wacky. The way the Salvation Army sort of bullies her off the corner. But the Salvation Army sucks. And they are a terrible charity and do much more harm than they do good. So fuck them. So
everybody's awful.
Yeah.
Everybody gets cancelled eventually. Yeah. Everybody's awful.
Got a catchy theme song.
Why is it Burn? Like, we talked about how bad Burns' voice was, but why is he the one sort of like monologuing at the end? Like, why'd they choose him to do it?
No.
He has nothing to do with the rest of the episode
it's
at
the
all.
Closest we get
he
to
just shows up.
And he has this whole speech about how if the rich only paid taxes, the government could really fix problems instead of expecting charities, which are mostly just fronts for people's egos to take care of problems. It really comes out of left field, and Mr. Burns being the one to do it as well feels weird.
Yeah.
Like, from the one perspective, he'd be the guy who has, like, the insider knowledge of, dodging taxes and making charities that are just write-offs. If he'd been a part of this at all, it might have made a difference.
Yeah, or if there was anything to benefit for him, but this is the point that this episode is making, that rich people are looking for deductions to lessen their tax obligations. And so, using these charities as a front, and end up serving the... But this isn't Mr. Burns' fight. He would totally be the kind of person that would be like, I'll give whatever money to whoever, that as long as it doesn't go to the fucking government, which I tried to defraud by $1 trillion once.
Yeah, like... He can make this speech, but it's just so shoved in. Like, it needs to come down on the, like, when he's investing, and they're like, Mr. Burns, why are you investing? It's like, I'll get out of paying $100 million in taxes as long as I can pay you guys only $10 million. That's called math.
Yeah.
But, like, he's done the non-profit with Lisa thing before, so, like, I can understand why they wouldn't make that the plot point, but then just don't make it someone else. Why isn't it just Rich Texan like coming to his senses, I guess, or something at the end? Like, who cares?
It's a really like oddly specific thing that they're going after, and it's again, it doesn't feel like they reach a satisfying conclusion with it. Like, it almost feels like too big of a topic, and I get like, you're using Marge and Lisa as the sort of vehicles for such a big topic to like bring it down to earth a bit, but it's just that Marge gets so easily swayed into the thing with one fucking song and dance number.
That went on, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's just one of these things where, like, they figured out what they wanted to rhyme with, and there was just such filler words leading up to it.
Yeah, there was one was like, what was it? Why don't we destroy those doctors without borders? Like,
yeah, I don't want to be giving you orders, but we should destroy doctors without borders.
It's like, they're not even related to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, like, they're an actual good charity as opposed to like what I don't know.
But I know it's in fashion. We'll get some Kardashians. It's really lazy writing, top to bottom on this one.
Again, a really slow song that was also just not funny.
Hi, Phil.
Yeah. But, Bernice Hibbert now is being played by Dawn Lewis, who Simpsons fans and Groening fans in general might know as La Barbara from Futurama, is now the voice of Bernice Hibbert. And, look, she can sing this. It's just lyrically it was dumb, and it just served as nothing else than to rush Marge's turn into charity wife.
Yeah, if nothing else, I do like that at least Bernice Hibbert got something to do. We've talked about B and C characters getting more screen time, and sure, why not? Give Bernice Hibbert a thing. And there was something kind of funny about the board of directors being just all the wives of various doctors. That was something. It's just, they're in positions of wealth and power, but with nothing to do, so they sit on the board of charities.
It's weird. It's almost like she's sort of taken the position that would have previously been occupied by Helen Lovejoy almost.
Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
Helen Lovejoy, but you need someone who's somewhere between Helen Lovejoy and corporate lady whose name escapes me.
Lindsay Nagel.
Lindsay Nagel,
Yeah.
which is where you get Bernice, which,
Yeah,
sure,
I guess
sure.
that makes sense,
In
yeah.
certain, you need to attend PTA meetings, but also be a body corporate in some way.
Yeah. You need to be able to get outraged, but yeah.
How was the heart?
I
Huh?
like that the crazy cat lady is still throwing cats while on her walking tour.
And incomprehensible.
Yeah, still incomprehensible. Using cats as tour guide markers. Look over here now. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Again, it's the
No.
problem of, okay, rushing Marge's turn to corporate charity person, and then Lisa coming into the headquarters and them just having to fight within that one scene.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there was something funny about them having a disagreement and then going to like get ice cream to cool down. And then, okay, it's like, well, this isn't working. Let's come back tomorrow. And then the next day. And there's something kind of funny in them taking like 4 days to cool down and talk to each
Yeah.
other. That was okay.
But then, like, on the last day, them actually being like, oh, I think this is the one, actually. Like, I thought that was, that's an okay joke.
Yeah.
if we come back tomorrow, we can get another scoop. No, don't worry. Yeah, that was okay.
And also, like, Marge's seduction into, buying into all this all with having her own private bathroom. There's a moment where she's showing her office and it's like, oh, is it going to be a little weird that everyone's going to have to go through my office to get to the bathroom? It's like, no, that's yours alone. She's like,
yeah, I didn't.
Homeless bathroom.
Yeah, I won't
Wait,
need a candle.
husbandless? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was okay, but
that's fine.
yeah, I also don't buy it in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Like,
you could sell the idea that she is getting swept up in this, but there's just not. There's the song with Bernice, and then there's the bathroom, and that's about it.
yeah,
Like, I get it that it is the joke, but they're all about, like, raising awareness. But I'm like, shouldn't Marge be saying raising awareness for what?
yeah.
For what? For, like, that people need laundry? Like, what are we doing? Like, she should have tweaked sooner. Like, she's not an idiot.
No, that's it. And she's bought into it so straight away that it does become unbelievable for this whole
Yeah.
thing. And ultimately, though, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Weirdly, sort of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like wispy blue vapor that's Marge hair colored. I'm like, hey, I know that color. Where'd it go? Oh, whatever.
I've choked on this before. Yeah, it had the structure of like a thing, like good intentions, people differ, there's a fight, they reconcile, they tear it all down.
Yeah.
That's been done a few times. So yeah, it does. It does sort of feel like it. It just wasn't executed well.
No, it's so bland throughout. It just feels like a lot of
enough
them are on
jokes.
autopilot. And
Oh, this is very much production line Simpsons. It's
yeah.
disassembled
This- I like-
on a conveyor belt.
I literally that Mr. Burns speech at the end was like, if The Simpsons did do AI, both in script writing and voice generation, this is what it would sound like.
Yeah, there's your biggest character integrity break. Like, yeah,
So
I'll argue that
weird.
I don't think Marge was properly motivated, but it didn't feel unlike her to be swayed by these sort of niceties and things. But yeah, that was just flat out not what Mr. Burns would do.
No. I mean, he was sort of like campaigning for corporate America and like whatever, but he just didn't fit into the plot at
No.
all. Like, it was so strange.
But yes, no, would you watch this one again? No. BT, what would you change?
Bow. Change my brain. One that
I
hadn't watched
would
this.
change many things. Again, I like that it's a Lisa Marge. I think I would want to focus on that. Have the seduction of Marge into the corporate world just make a bit more sense. Introduce Mr. Burns earlier so that his
Yes.
whole speech at the end feels like it's coming from somewhere, if you have to have that. Or even just make it, more of a nuanced thing. The idea that the way they're making this grow is getting a bunch of tax write-offs, and you can even have Marge be like, but shouldn't you be, paying your fair share? And Burns being like, oh, you naive, lovely idiot.
I am by paying you or something. Like,
Yeah, and kind of losing focus. The idea that she loses focus, and I'm sure this happens to a lot of charities where they have the goal of let's get bigger and more powerful, then we can do more, and then somewhere along the way they lose focus and ideal and whatever. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of things that do that.
I got to say, like that whole, just you reminded me, the whole ongoing joke of deductions. I mean, donations. It was just like, it wasn't funny the first time, guys.
No.
Like, please.
And
stop
without it
doing
being a bit
over.
more
It's
central
3
to the plot,
times.
yeah.
Yeah. And I just remembered as well, like, the idea with Mr. Burns as well, like, that was one of the things that got Lisa offside, is that she was accepting money from Mr. Burns, and Lisa had already, like, made the stand. I don't even want to use this fucking baking soda that's used by this. I don't want money from Mr. Burns. And that then he was the fucking voice of reason later on?
Yeah, it's weird. But also there's a thing of, Lisa wants to use this baking soda that comes from monks up on top of the mountain, and it's much more expensive. And so there's the balance of, well, if you want to use that ethically sourced baking soda, you need more capital, you need investors. So there's the balance of, you have to make a sacrifice somewhere. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Yeah, look, just figure out what the point you're trying to make is and focus on that.
And make it. Jordan?
What I would change, I think the conflict needs to be more, I get it for the plot, but I don't think Marge is that, would be so easily swept up into this whole thing. I think she should be doubting it sooner, but is torn between, look how much good we'll be able to do versus, oh, but I'm disappointing Lisa. I think the problem is that there's no mention or showing of Marge being like, oh, we'll be able to, oh, this would be great because now we can use this as a distribution center or something like that. It's all just she's caught up in this fantasy that's she's being sold, and it's only right at the end we're like, okay, so when do we actually get to help people? And I'm like, I feel like Marge should have been asking that all along the way, and her concern should have just been brushed away.
Swept, oh, in a minute, we're just going to need to secure the overseas market first.
Yeah, like stuff like that. So, yeah, I feel like that it just wasn't in character for her to just forget everything else, and especially not to trust Lisa as well about this.
Yeah.
This kind of thing.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a point of, like, Marge being swept up by the niceties, but then sort of also just having someone like lording over her and putting the pressure on, so she's got to be like the middleman between them and Lisa, and Lisa's like, yeah, more, what do you like? Because I do like the point that there's a charity with Lisa's name on it that she's like very much not a part of. But I feel like it's just not Marge to be having this argument with Lisa and being the one to put the foot down. I feel like she's the one who's like meant to be bridging these relationships sort of thing, and like having to like try and balance all these conflicting ideas. And yeah, that it's not Lisa fucking grandstanding at the thing at the end is just so baffling. Because I mean, I do like the idea that I don't like the idea that this corporate headquarters took a bunch of low-income housing, but I like the idea that they gave it back at the end, and this was the thing, and then, like, yeah, all these people that are like, oh, look at all the good that we're doing, are all of a sudden like, that's not the fork that you're meant to use with that meal or whatever like that. Like, again, seeds of good idea, but it was just handled so blandly and so poorly that with voice actors that just don't give a fuck are phoning it in quite literally.
Yeah, or are held at gunpoint potentially, and we need to.
I'm Julie Kavner, and I'm reading this of my own free will. All right,
because I was watching the episode and I'm like, I don't actually think I know Lisa's middle name. I realize now it's Lisa Marie, but why have they called her Lisa Marie Simpson?
Mona. Lisa Marie Simpson?
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Well, no, that's what it is. It is Lisa Marie Simpson.
I thought it was Lisa Mona.
No, it's Lisa Marie Simpson, according to Wikipedia.
What?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, why is it? Is it like Lisa Marie Presley?
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. That's why I was so confused. I'm like, why is it?
Barb's is apparently JoJo. I know that. It's Homer's. Fuck. I feel like I should remember that.
Jay. It's just Jay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Sorry.
Marge's Jacqueline.
I'm not enough with the times. Bartholomew Jojo Simpson. Yeah.
Which isn't official show canon. They just like wrote that in like one of those Simpsons books that they published.
Well, it's in Wikipedia now.
Yeah.
So
and the arbiters of truth.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think it's time for our final notes. It started out with a joke I didn't mind, where it starts with a football game where like the NFL guy is like, well, gambling is legal everywhere except all the lame states. I liked that, but then I didn't like the whole, here's a number you can call if you got problems, and then it's like a bunch of like 1-800-X jokes.
One I
Fast
particularly
forward.
didn't like was 1-800-SHE DONE LEFT. That feels really cringe, so don't like that.
But, I mean, again, something about Homer, like, pulling out all of his devices is the only way he can enjoy the game, but we've done this with Lisa the Greek.
Yeah.
Apparently Maggie is Margaret Evelyn Lenny Simpson.
Sure.
Okay.
Apparently.
I didn't like the Doug Handyman
That was
dead joke.
lame.
Like, what is that? Because Homer literally had to crawl over his skeleton.
Yeah. So, yeah, Homer's crawling under the house to look for his ring, which he accidentally dropped in the heat of the football game. Oh, we had a handyman, David or Darren. What was his name? And then there's a Doug skeleton.
Yeah, and if you would like to...
It's just an unsolved murder,
Pretty
missing
much.
person in
Yep.
Springfield.
if you'd like to smooth jazz your way over to Jordan's Anal Corner. Jordan's Anal Corner. Homer's all like, it's a stink of skunks. A collective noun for stink is seraphite.
Is he?
Sorry,
Sir-
the collective
Sir Fate.
noun's for skunk.
Yeah, is
Okay.
Oh, a Sir Fate.
the fate.
What's
Yeah.
fate?
Apparently means too many of something, which is...
Hold on.
On this, the
it's not a stink of
season
skunks.
34, episode 19,
The
the
Sir Fate of
One
skunks.
second.
the surfeit of Simpsons.
Sir Fate. You go that. It says an excess. Oh, yeah, it is an excessive matter study, literally.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. I think you already done
Yeah,
it.
that's appropriate because it feels like one skunk is too many.
Yeah,
If
frankly,
we're-
one is too many.
If we're already there, two things.
Yep.
Blue is not teal. Blue is different from teal.
Definitely.
Teal is a blue-green
teal.
sort of color, ocean-y sort of color.
Yeah.
And because it's like, perhaps we'll be real and it's changed to like teal, whatever, but they're still using the same blue. They don't use a teal color, so like, wrong. You're wrong, Simpsons, and fuck
Oh,
you.
perhaps she's wrong.
Well, yeah, it's bad. And the second thing is Marge storms in from the back exit while a string quartet is playing, and they stop playing, and there's a record scratch sound.
I kind of popped for that, I got to admit. Call it Wasteland delusion, but
Yeah.
the idea that there's like a string quartet
And
and,
there's a record scratch. Yeah.
Like,
I didn't even notice that, but I kind of like
Still
the
counting
idea.
as a natal corner there. You can't stop me.
yeah, when they mentioned that Mr. Burns donated money, they cut to a shot of Lenny and Carl, like a garden blowing. What do they call those things?
Yeah, like leaf
Blowers.
Leaf blower.
Leaf
Leaf
blowers.
blower. Yeah, leaf blowering a bunch of blinkies into a pile of blinkies that they then set on fire, and Mr. Burns is like,
I
excellent.
mean, they're okay for eating. You can eat a blinky.
Yeah.
Wasn't the point that there was only one originally,
Yeah.
and now there's 7 million?
Well, it's been 35
What are they
years.
doing out of the water?
Getting
Dying.
leaf blowered.
Yeah. Well, also,
They're just suicidal.
apparently incredibly flammable because they just throws a match on a pile of them
Honestly,
that have
You
Yeah,
ever
but
tried to light a fish on
There's
fire?
no
It doesn't work like
accelerant.
that.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's how mutated it is. It's
Yeah,
flammable
true.
now.
Jesus, what a Blinky
made
shouldn't
of-
exist.
Yeah. Fuck. It's like patting themselves on the back so hard they give themselves fucking scoliosis. Every 10 boxes, a monk achieves enlightenment. Like, oh, I finally get Inception. Now to think about Tenet.
Yep,
Like,
those movies aren't that complicated.
They're not.
I'm like,
What is? Yeah. Okay. If it was like, what's that? Oh God, what's that one? That is about time travel.
Primer.
No, where they're in the box.
Primer.
Primer. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you said driver. Primer. If you want to understand
Drivers are
primer,
very different.
yeah. If you're
a
gonna
car's a box.
yeah, if you're gonna understand like primer, I'd be like, okay, maybe, but like no one knows that movie. But like, Inception isn't that difficult to grasp.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
I was
Tenet,
always
a little bit
wondering
less
if
so,
that
but-
was like always the joke was that Inception thinks it's a way more complicated movie than it is.
It
or-
takes its time to explain it to you. You just
Yeah.
have to pay attention. It's
Also, yeah, again, not that complicated. They can plug into dreams. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, whereas Primer is like, we are going to explain shit to you. Fuck you.
There is so many fucking timelines, and you won't know which one is which. So good luck, fucker.
so funnily enough, Primer needs a primer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's diagrams on the Wikipedia that still don't make sense about all the different timelines that they go into. Because basically, it's like you go into a box, and however long you go into the box for is how far back you go.
did they
as well.
parody this on Futurama?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I will say, I thought this was another sort of elegant transition, again, using a phone, where Homer, like, sees that he's done for. He's surrounded by the skunks, and he pulls out his phone
Yeah.
to record a message for his family. And then, like, it zooms in on the video, and Homer, it's like shaking, and like you're just seeing a barrage of skunks. And
I
Homer
like his line there of "Remember me how I used to smell."
yeah, that wasn't bad. But then, yeah,
Which is apparently full of sardines, probably half the time.
oh yeah, the montage. We'll get there. So yeah, and then it zooms out, and it's the kids laughing at that video as Homer's getting barked
Yeah, that
outside. I'm
wasn't
like,
bad.
excellent transition.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I actually liked the follow-up montage of Marge being like, oh, I've had to get rid of some serious stinks from Homer's throughout the years.
Yeah. It was like dumpster demolition derby or something.
Sardine eating contest, and then hot boxing with Otto. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it was like garlic eating champion or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did sort of like the joke of like, yeah, we're going to make you like founder emeritus. Like, oh, that's great. Wait, emeritus. I know what that means. Like, no, we're not firing you. We're deresponsibilitizing
Yeah,
you.
Very corpo speak, yeah.
yeah. Throwback to the beginning, I don't remember. There's a bit where Homer says, "I'm officially in Garbage Town now," and I just wrote that down just in case that became relevant to this episode. It didn't really, but
We were officially in Garbage
we
Town
just
2
left.
episodes
We
ago
just
to go
left
beach.
Garbage Town.
Forget it, Beach. This is Garbage Town.
That's at a down arrow on Bart going, "Ew, caramba."
Jesus, what is this?
Yeah.
It's been 34 years, Bart.
Oh, another down arrow on Bart where Lisa was like to Marge, sorry about the body that I ruined in childbirth. And then Bart goes, I ruined it first. And it's like, please don't make me think about that.
Yeah, please don't.
Children.
Yeah.
How old are they?
One I didn't mind was on the KFC bucket was the little cartoon picture of Krusty saying, forget about all the other stuff I did.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm like, that's all right.
Again, I really wish they hammered home the blue ribbon that Marge is using for a charity is being misused for other products. Like, they have a bit of that with like the Laramie cigarettes billboard, and there was a
Oh my God.
what was that?
I mean, the huge down arrow for me was Raytheon supports the unhoused. Raytheon is like one of those defense contractors, like
right.
fucking
Lockheed Martin or something.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Where it's like, you know, they put like, it's always like for Pride Month, they'll put a Pride version of the logo. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You
Yeah.
kill millions. Why are you doing this? Like, yeah, but we support the gays. Like, you don't support anyone. You support money.
yeah.
What explosions?
Yeah.
I did kind of like the line of Marge being like, "I support the homeless," and Lisa's like, "You mean the unhoused?" Marge just says, "Do I?"
Yeah.
It's like, what language I don't know anymore.
They do a lot of back and forths about the homeless,
Homeless,
unhoused.
unhoused.
Yeah.
It's like, surely that's the same. There's nothing less impactful.
That does although I gotta say that does really reek of that sort of like centrist lib shit sort of lifestyle of like, oh no, they're not actually homeless, they're called the unhoused, like meanwhile not doing anything to help
Yeah, but I
the
think that was the
situation
point,
either
especially,
way.
and her response of just,
Yeah.
"Do I?" And the fact that no one really was sure which term to settle on,
Yeah.
I think makes it
Even
work.
Gil getting corrected, and he's just like, I'm living in a tent outside a building.
Yeah,
I'll call
I'll call-
myself whatever I want.
Yeah.
And my final note is, I wish this was way more of the episode. Give me a whole episode of this. Bart being Homer's chicken wingman. Like, I like the idea of them like making out a plan of attack to
Yeah.
maximize the amount of
Hors d'oeuvres,
d'oeuvres and appetizers in the. That was great.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of wouldn't mind like weaving in the football thing from like the intro, having a little handheld plan of thing and putting like little
sure.
little X's and O's about like which
Gotta go
way we're
here,
gonna
then
go,
here.
etc. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
go this
like
way,
with
I
the
go-
sports commentators between the plays. See, that's where he went there. He should have gone round the outside here, but we
We
got
ran
it.
a
Yeah.
wheel route here, and yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Other notes I have. There's a bit where they're doing the tour of the first office, and Bernice is like, "Well, this was a WeWork, and then it was a Theranos offices, and then it was how's the writing team for the TV shows about both those companies." I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. And then Marge especially going, "Well, they must have been successful if they had TV shows made about them." It's like,
Yeah.
that's kind of funny.
But yeah, funnily because we reviewed an episode which
Yeah.
was heavily about the whole Theranos thing. And what's WeWork? I think I missed that one.
WeWork was like they basically just sell office space. So like you go in, you can just hot desk and get
Oh,
out.
sure.
So it's like,
And
hey, you need
they
an
got-
office space to work out of. Like, we'll rent it
Yeah,
for
and
you
they
for
got
like a day.
Bafflingly huge, like
During COVID, I feel. Yeah.
yeah. Lisa has a line of, "You're making my future therapist so much money right now."
Also, what was What was PQB's? Because it was obviously supposed to sort of be like a Baskin-Robbins-esque sort of like ice creamery.
Sure,
but I was trying to figure out what PQB stood for, maybe.
PQB. Doesn't make
Pick
a
your
word.
bees.
Okay.
Want this bee or that bee?
Yeah,
You're
that'd be
getting
for
beans.
that'd make sense for an apiary, but not for a. Yeah.
I do like Homer's line of, now it's time for the final step of unemployment, buying podcast equipment and never unboxing it.
That was good.
Yeah.
I didn't even mind his like, I've been fired from so many jobs. That's basically my job. And then him like giving Lisa like the 5 stages of unemployment. And I didn't mind at the coffee shop where she was like, I thought we already did anger. And he's like, oh, now we're up to misdirected anger. And then Kirk going, stage 3.
Yeah.
What I hated though was later there was a follow-up joke where Homer was like, oh good, Lisa's almost out of this and I can stop making up stages.
Yeah.
Like, no, you just had the thing where it was like a commonly known thing.
It was
No.
a fun riff. Yeah.
Okay, I figured out what PQB's was.
What is
Yeah?
it?
It's actually makes its first appearance in Lisa's Pony.
Ah.
Phineas Cube Butterfats, 5,600 flavors ice cream parlor.
Oh, so it's done a like sleekening sort
Yeah,
of
like,
business
Yeah,
thing.
like
KFC.
yeah.
Just means KFC now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Friedman works there.
Jeremy
Who's
Irons.
pimple-faced teen.
He has a name?
Jeremy Friedman, apparently.
What, in
There
the
you
Jeffrey
go.
Albertson?
Yeah, I don't know.
Quick segue into a fashion corner.
Wink.
That I don't understand. Marge's dress at that unveil at that big event, it's killer.
Yeah, I will say again, the musical number for All My Down Arrows, it looks good.
Yeah. And then I think my last note is... Oh, yeah. It's just a weird bit where it ends with Lisa and Marge reconciled, and then they're using the sacks to clean. So I don't know what they're cleaning.
Mm.
They're just shaking the bags. What are they cleaning in there?
Shaker fries. I'm making shaker fries.
I mean, they'll
Oh.
probably have a lot of salt and detergent in them.
Well,
Baking
no, I mean, it was
soda.
like baking powder, which I don't know if it has a flavor.
Soda or power?
I think it was baking powder.
Isn't one of those inedible?
Probably. Or bicarb soda, I don't think you should. I know you can put a little bit of bicarb soda in
I mean, it
food.
doesn't sound like it's be good.
No, and the bay leaves would be very not.
Leafy.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think we covered this in the wackiness, but yeah, Marge has essentially invented magic here.
Yeah.
Dry cleaning clothes, literally.
I was gonna say, because it not only gets the stink and the stains out, but it like irons them as
In
well.
like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
even
and
that.
like, why doesn't she do this to all her clothes, like, regardless? Why does she, like, because this looked
Why use a
quicker
washing
than-
machine and
yeah.
iron and dry them? Yeah.
Yeah.
This looked cleaner and quicker than a washing machine and dryer combo.
Yeah.
Marge is a witch.
Yeah. All right, let's rank this thing. Participant.
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 That was easy. Yeah, look, I don't know what else there is to say about this
Yeah.
episode. It's just such a wash.
You for real.
It was boring, Elliot. I hated it.
All right, well, we don't have to roll dice for the next ones because they are decided. You can roll dice if you want
I'm
anyway.
doing it anyway. Screw you.
Yeah, roll a D1.
All right,
I'm rolling
well,
all of his cheese dice.
Okay,
All right,
well,
roll
1
all
to
the
6
tea.
means win.
6, 14, 6 again, 3, 8.
all right, well, we're still doing season 20, episode 7, My Pods and Boomsticks next.
37.
Oh,
Okay.
and 27, you said?
No, 37. It was all
Yeah.
added up.
Oh, okay, 37.
Season 37. Let's go into the future.
And the next one we'll do is
Oh, it's all poop.
season 35's
Like
Do
from
the
a butt.
Wrong Thing.
Season 35.
Yeah, will be our season
Ooh.
30s. Once again, thank you very much, listeners, for joining us as we explore the Wasteland. If you want to hear more of us, more when we've got our sanity and we're refreshed and we've only done like 1 to
And
2
we're only a little
podcasts that day. Yeah, you can go over to patreon.com/sidequest studios. You can get a bonus podcast every single week for the price of a cup of coffee. Also access to over 170 of our exclusive podcasts by
God,
now.
there's so many.
I know, and yeah, and one of your Patreon perks is you get to decide movies for us to review, but they must star a cast member of The Simpsons.
Yes.
So yeah, get your picks in, go over there, patreon.com/sidequest
We've
studios.
reviewed some weird shit.
We really have, and Oh, Jordan, yeah, at some point we're going to make you and Danny and Claire, we're going to sit you
Rhapsody
down.
Street Kids.
We're going to make some eggnog and we're going to watch Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever heard of this
I have
thing?
not.
Are you looking up some screenshots of it?
No. I was trying to think of the movie that I was wondering if you had seen.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Jingle All the Way?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Rad.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman.
What about
yeah.
Small Soldiers?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
that,
cool.
which ended up being Phil Hartman's last
Yeah.
film performance.
Yeah, sad.
Small Soldiers, like, it has a reputation as a bad movie. I thought it was surprisingly solid.
It's weird, but
It's-
cool.
It's weird.
It's
Yeah.
mostly in the who is this for category.
Yeah.
But, like, as a flick, I had a fine time watching it.
Yeah.
Rhapsody Street Kids, I did not, but that was so much of the fun.
That's a cubic
Okay,
fan,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, I would like to get a live react. Can you look up Rhapsody
Yes.
Street Kids? RAPSITTIE. Street Kids Believe in Santa.
Why is
Wait, it's
this
from
so-
2002. What the fuck? Wait, which one is it?
It's the 3D animated looking
Is it
one.
that one? Or is
Oh,
it that one?
The 3D. That's
oh,
the one.
Oh, boy.
If it's a drawn image, that was a promotional image, and that's what they should have animated around. But no, 2000, what'd you say, 3?
2002?
2002, 3D computer animated movie.
It's like if Abed just learned like video game design and put
Yes.
Britta in a video game.
Fully.
So weird.
And yeah, the Simpsons cast member in that is Nancy Cartwright, who also was an exec producer on this.
Mark
So
Hamill is in this.
Mark Hamill's in it. The lead is the Black Power Ranger. It's a fucking wild ass time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. I
So
can't
yeah,
wait.
listener out there.
Clint Howard's in it. Yeah.
Who's that? Sorry.
Clint Howard is the really ugly guy. He's Ron Howard's, I think, brother. That guy.
Oh my god, he was in Green Mile or Shawshank. Green
yeah,
Mile.
Yeah. He's in,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in stuff and things.
and he was in that one where he's like gets the computer to summon the devil.
Okay.
Wait, what?
It's like Speak No Evil or something. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Sure. Fuck, I can't believe he's part of the Howard dynasty.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, the baldness fits, but...
Oh no, but it's just like he's such like one of those character actor dudes. Like
yeah. for-
Yeah.
that he's always like that guy energy. You know, we talk a lot about that on Starring Springfield. But speaking of Starring Springfield, yes, go to patreon.com/SideQuest Studios, listen to our review of that, and go watch it yourself. It's for free on YouTube as well. It's, yeah. Anyway.
No one wants to defend the rights to that show.
No, that's it. And yeah, that about covers it. Once again, thank you, Jordan.
Y'all don't come back now, you hear?
We will. Thank you, BT.
Ah.
And I've been Elliot Jay O'Neill. That's all the mustard in the house. Until next week when there's a little bit more mustard.
Just a little bit more mustard. Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can also check out our other shows, like Pulp Fury Radio, our scripted fiction podcast, which tells all original stories across a range of pulp genres, and Thrones of Game, where we review Game of Thrones in reverse order. Links to those podcasts and more will be available in the show notes. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes!